on vengeance.
Okay, guys, I only got about an hour here, so try to get this done in an hour. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this done in an hour. Okay. All right, so AW here in the house. How are you guys doing? Hope good. I hope good. I really hope you're all doing good. Welcome to my channel. Do me a favor, please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Do all that for me, please. Really, really appreciate it. So, yeah. Come say hello, guys. So, I'm here, guys. All right. All right, so got a couple of things I want to talk about on here, okay, with you guys. Couple things. James Gunn. I'm going to talk James Gunn. I'm going to talk James Gunn, okay? He has responded to these rumors about excuse me, about certain DCU projects, okay? Okay, he's responded to these rumors about certain DCU projects. All right, so we're gonna take a talk. We're gonna talk about that. Like Paradise Lost, when Brave and the Bold's gonna happen. What else? No update on Superman, and then we're gonna talk about Avengers Secret Wars. Yes, Avengers Secret Wars. We're gonna talk about Avengers Secret Wars. Okay. That too. Hi, Anthony. So we're gonna talk about Avengers Secret Wars in DC. All right. I need to get DC out of the way. I'm only here for an hour. Okay. I'm only gonna be here for an hour, so I don't have long. Maybe less than an hour to let you guys know. So Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost that you to refresh your guys' memories. Paradise Lost is the prequel to basically the Amazons, Diana Prince, okay? That's what it is, okay? Okay? That's what yeah, we're going to talk about that last, Anthony. But Paradise Lost is pretty much prequel to like Wonder Woman, okay? Wonder Woman is safe to say, okay? Safe to say. Okay? Okay, so that's what I was going to say. Okay. Okay? Wonder Woman. So, that he is sorcerer? Source. I thought he said sorcerer. John Woka. I wouldn't trust John Woka either. Okay? I don't trust John Woka either. Okay, that's the thing. Don't trust John Walker. Okay, so I don't even think she's in Paradise Lost, Anthony. I don't think she's going to be in it. I think she's going to be set before Diana Prince is around. So John Walker John Walker. That John Walker who is a part of the Christian Harloff's crew. Yeah, that guy. Wait a minute. I have to put this on. Okay. That guy. Part of the Christian Harloff crew. So he is here in Paradise Lost is shelved. Cancelled. Whatever. Right? Right? Things like that. Here's the thing about John Walker. He's not really a friend. He's not really pro James Gunn. Okay? He is not pro James Gunn. And he's buddies with Jeff Schneider, who has every day on his every week not every day, but weekly show, I believe. Yeah, weekly show that he has every Thursday? Okay. That Jeff Schneider is not a big fan of James Gunn either. Okay? Both of them are not big fans of James Gunn. So that's a red flag. In my book. Okay? That's a red flag. Now, James Gunn has come out and said Paradise Lost is canceled. Shuts it down. Replies to Threads tweet. This is on Threads. He says on Threads, guys. He says it's on Threads. That back in June of last year, Gunn did say that Paradise Lost was moving along. Now, this is all the way back in June. Obviously, things could change between now and June. That's always a strong possibility. That's happens before, obviously. Okay? That's obviously a strong possibility things could change between now and in June, obviously. Not denying that. Okay? But, okay, so he gives... Yeah, Jeff, I'll say that, Anthony. You're kind of right there because Jeff does hate James Gunn more. He does. Because he has debunked a lot of things that James Gunn said. That he said that James Gunn debunked a lot of things that he said. Okay, that Jeff said. But yeah, good point. Disclaimer. That's a perfectly valid point. That's a perfectly valid point. He could put a disclaimer. But he won't, Anthony, because they're friends. They're friends, and right, they're best friends, and they're not. And once he starts not believing Jeff on what right, then the friendship could take a turn, could take a downwards turn, right? When when if John stops believing Jeff's Snyder's scoops that he believes he has, that could end a friendship right there, and Jeff will not go on the show anymore. Your life so early, yeah, man. I wasn't planning to do this. I was planning to do this either today or tomorrow. Today, why am I live early? It's because I was able to. I was able to be live early today. Yeah. But the thing is, Jeff, right? If John stops believing Jeff's scoops, you know what happens there? It's friends. I'm only here to 8. I'm only here 8 to an hour, guys. I'm only here to 8 blinded. So yeah, fine. Okay, come on. I have something to do at 8. Okay, so come on. All right. Oh man. But the thing is, Jeff has been wrong a lot. Okay? He's been wrong a lot. And I don't know if I would take his word on stuff. That's legit. Oh yeah, Mr. Health, my buddy's here. What's up?
What's good?
I'm good, man. It's just a short stream today because I have to be done by 8.
Yeah, I was gonna play with my friends at 8, so it works out. It's okay.
Well, I wasn't planning on. I was hoping to do the stream today, depending if I was able to get the stream up and running at least before 7, which I was able to.
I see. I wanted to eat something, but I'm too lazy to make anything. Sadly.
Yeah, I just ate. I just ate. I ate earlier than usual. That's why I was able to make it. It was depending when I was going to have dinner, if I was going to make it or not. But
yeah, there's some. Well, I know you're talking about the James Gunn stuff because I obviously have some opinions about this, controversial opinions.
I do think James Gunn likes to talk a lot. I mean, he's always on threads, but I think there's still a chance at this in the develop. Look, they could be saying this because of the rumors. Oh, they're going to be casting Wonder Woman soon, working on Wonder Woman. Maybe so. Maybe there is potentially that this show might be delayed.
Well, we know that there's a Wonder Woman script that they're supposedly working on.
Yep.
But this is my opinion on this, right? Because I mean, I've said this multiple times. I don't really believe anything James Gunn says because it's been contradictory and all over the place, and I think people forget what he debunks and all these different things because. I mean, there has been rumors that things have been canceled, and we haven't really heard much about really any of the projects that were greenlit besides Supergirl. Supergirl's the only movie that was part of the initial slate that actually is happening. And Superman, of course, right? But Peacemaker
that secret wasn't even the original slate.
Yeah, well, I should say Supergirl and Green Lanterns, right? Because I just remembered Green Lanterns. But Man of Tomorrow was not part of that initial slate. Clayface was not a part of that slate.
Nope.
We haven't really heard anything about all those other movies and TV shows. So it's like there was also rumblings that they were going to make a Sergeant Rock movie, and that seemed like they were going to do that because they had a director. They were even looking at actors. So
that was pretty. I mean, they actually had Colin Farrell signed up for that, and they had a director.
yeah,
That was close, and it got.
and that was never part of the slate, though. That was also not part of the slate. So what has happened to these other projects? He's saying they're on hold. Well, he never said they're on hold. They're still in development, but and some of the things he's not satisfied with, he gives kind of vague responses like, look at the Authority. The Authority has been pushed hard. Recently in DC Comics, they've been doing reprints, and they even have a compact version, yet there's no mention of this movie. Is the movie happening? No one knows. So I'm not really inclined to believe him. And I always said this, never believe any kind of executive, because they talk out of their fucking both sides of their mouths, right? I don't know what the saying is. Both sides. They talk out of their mouth and their ass.
That's the saying.
That's what I would say, right? So, I think he says a lot of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's all true, or some of it is, a little bit of the truth. And I think maybe they haven't canceled these things because maybe they never got into the position. This is what I'm saying. He's very, chooses his words carefully, because remember what he said. I'll only greenlight movies if they have a finished script, and TV shows. Yeah. Well, TV shows, I think that's a different process. So I don't know how that would necessarily work, but for movies, we know he said, hey, it needs to have a finished script before I greenlight it.
Yeah, he did say that.
So these projects could be in development, but they never got greenlit. So he could technically say, well, it's still in development because it hasn't left development.
Yeah, it's not like...
And it could also be that it never leaves development.
And we know for years, not regarding DC or Marvel, we know for years movies are in development for
a very long time.
Yeah, it could be decades.
That's why we have the term development hell.
Beetlejuice sequel was in development for like 30 years.
Right.
Right? It was... If you know the history of the Beetlejuice sequel, that was supposed to happen like a long time ago. Yeah, movies could be in development for 20, 30 years. It happens. It's
right.
The difference between development and greenlit, to me, greenlit means they're ready to get process to start. The production part business, production part side of things, right? Get the pre-production, filming, post-production. Where development is like you get a director or you get a writer, a director to pen up a script. Potentially, you do the hirings for, right? And we see like that's what I believe.
Yeah, I think James Gunn. I mean, the thing is, we obviously know that he likes to. Sorry, did I get cut off?
No, you didn't. You're still here.
Okay, because I was on my home screen. But I mean, I always thought that James Gunn is not like, I don't know, I don't know why he's always on social media, to be honest. Like, if these rumors are true or bullshit, right? Why bother debunking them? I mean, we already know that if it's not true, it's just not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really know why he continues to do this. Is it just to get some credibility from fans? I have no clue, but it's just kind of I don't really see the point of it anymore. I feel like most of us know it's bullshit, and that's the only reason why people are even asking him, is this bullshit? He doesn't even really come out himself and acknowledge these things. It's usually just questions people have for them. So I have for him. So I don't know. I just we'll have to see. I think DC is not to say DC's in a bad spot, but I think people just think that DC is Marvel. This is something I feel like people forget.
Marvel's being patient right now. This is the patience Marvel's ever been.
Yeah, but Marvel has money. Marvel has money. Marvel is one of the top.
And they're not. There's no impending sale with Disney. What's the
No,
future?
yeah, exactly. There's no impending sale, right? Marvel also has tons of money. They can, in all honesty, they can greenlight whatever they want. They still have power to do that. Like, as much as I know Bob Iger before was saying we're gonna, pick and choose what we're gonna greenlight, but Marvel themselves have made movies. Marvel literally has made a movie in the last 2 years that made $1 billion. DC
Yes.
hasn't. DC hasn't made a movie that even reached $1 billion
Since Aquaman.
since Aquaman. So, and even if they did, they still don't have all this money that they made from almost 30 plus movies.
Yeah.
So it's not even comparable. But yet people have this belief that DC is gonna be putting out all this content like Marvel. No, they can't. That's physically impossible. They don't have the money to do
Marvel, the old Marvel, because Marvel doesn't put that much content as much anymore either.
Well, Marvel is still putting more content than they putting more content out
this year. Marvel's putting out a lot. 3 shows, 2 movies, and animation.
Yeah, they have 2 animations. They also have video games as well. But I mean, in general, Marvel is just has the capital to do whatever they want. Like, they still, as much as people were saying, the MCU is down or whatever, they still made so much money that they could do whatever they want for a very long time until they have like a string of failures and a downward decline.
Even the thing is, even if Spider-Man and Avengers are not as good as like previous incarnations of those films, the previous films, it probably still make tons of money. And Marvel might be happy with that. As long as it makes
money, that's the factor here that I'm trying to say is like Marvel, DC is not Marvel. Again, I'm not talking about in terms of quality or whatever, and even then, DC still hasn't put out a lot of stuff to even.
DC has a long way to catch up to Marvel.
Yeah, DC has a long road ahead of themselves. So I just think people need to scale back some of their expectations. I feel like they set themselves up for failure by doing that slate. I've always said that. And
that's the thing is, I think DC this time is patient, unlike the last time where DC was trying to rush the capital to Marvel.
Right.
Because they were trying to get on the comic book train there. You know how successful Marvel. Oh, let's do this with DC. They see and it turned out to be crap. Most of the stuff turned out to be crap. Turned a lot of people off. I think one of the problems as well, there was a lot of Warner Brothers regime changes, issues, and a lot of things happened on set. Like Zack Snyder, he didn't exactly deliver in their mind. And there's a lot of shit going. Marvel didn't really have that, right? He didn't have backstage, back behind the scenes issues. I'm sure there was.
Right.
I'm sure there was, because not everything is perfect, but it wasn't major. Because Disney didn't go through any. Didn't sell. I mean, Disney's not going to sell anything. Disney's going to be the one buying, right? Warner Brothers will sell. They're selling to Netflix unless Paramount manages to get their way. Disney's not going to be in that position ever to sell to new owners.
Right.
Disney will buy.
Disney will never let Marvel go unless they themselves belly up, which will never happen, right?
Exactly. That's if Disney is financially in trouble, maybe.
I highly doubt that. Marvel is way too, that's one of their most profitable. That's like the most profitable IP on the planet right now. Why would they ever give that up?
That would be pure insanity. That's not happening. That's pure fantasy.
Yeah, that's a total fantasy. I don't know who believes that, but that's never going to happen. But the thing is, it's like DC right now. Warner Brothers is going through all this, I don't know what you would say, litigation about who's going to buy Warner Brothers. So there's gonna be. I really don't think we're gonna get that many DC movies. On top of that, too, there is this rumor that I don't know. I feel like there's some truth to this rumor because I know he debunked this too, where he was saying that. So the rumor was that apparently James Gunn is not interested in having 2 Batmans, and so he wants the Batman to play itself out, and so then they
Yeah, I
can
heard that.
introduce that, right? He's debunked that and said it's not true, but that doesn't necessarily. I've always said this: the two Batmans is a problem, right? We've never had two on-screen characters simultaneously going on at once. I mean,
Yeah.
look at right now with Spider Noir. That character, that Spider Noir, is not even called Peter Parker.
Oh, it's Ben
Just
Wiley.
pointing that, yeah, just pointing that out,
Yeah.
right? So I don't. I personally think it really like there's too many weird factors into having two Batmans at once. And I've always said it's not because the audience would be confused, but I think the audience will have a preference, right? Like that's bound to happen. Whether people like it or not, people are going to compare the two Batmans, right? Just like how people compare every other version of Batman to each other. It's just that they're not going on at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
If
yeah, you would compare. I mean, like same thing with Superman. We Henry Cavill or David Cornswell to Christopher
right,
Reeve. Like yeah, even if they're not going out at the same time, exactly.
yeah. So I wonder who is going to be the preferred Batman.
Yeah,
Right now, Robert Pattinson obviously has a lead because he's been established. But who's to say that Robert Pattinson won't gain even more popularity with the second movie? Like we don't know, right? I know I was on Reddit and some clown, he ended up deleting all his comments, was trying to suggest that the Batman Part 2 is not going to make as much as the first movie, and that apparently there was some rush to theaters during like COVID, like all this stuff
no,
that made no
no,
sense that we all know is not true, and that's why
no,
the person
no.
ended up deleting the
Actually,
comments because it's all
it probably would
false.
have made at least 800 million if China was open. The theaters were like
Yeah, it
limited. Like,
probably would have made more if
yeah,
it was like 2023. I think it
yeah,
could be possible that
definitely
that movie could
23
have
for
hit eight.
sure.
Yeah,
Because
we haven't had a standalone Batman movie
20
since The Dark Knight Rises.
23 was a very weak comic movie year because, like, except for Guardians, most of the movies did not do well. Except for Guardians, 22 movies did well. Comic book movies financially did well. All of them, even bad ones like Thor: Love and Thunder, they all financially did well. 2000 and 2023, yeah, I mean, like Batman might have been maybe the highest grossing form if it came out in 2023. It might have been beat Guardians, maybe.
Yeah, it could. No, it probably would have been. Yeah,
And I
but
guarantee you, if it came out last year, it would have beat Superman.
yeah, it's still the Batman Part 2 is 100% going to be Man of
Man,
Tomorrow.
yeah, 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 for sure.
So this is what I'm saying. I feel like James Gunn is not really saying much. I mean, first off, one, I don't know why they would put the Flash screenwriter on Brave and the Bold. That to me is like
Yeah,
that still doesn't really make a lot of sense. Even if we say, oh, the script was botched and all this stuff like that, it's like this writer's been attached to some stuff that people don't like. So why are we retreading the same ground? It doesn't
I
make
know people didn't
sense.
like the Flash, but that wasn't really her worst writing movie for DC. It was Birds of Prey.
Yeah, well, people don't like Birds of Prey, so you're like,
Yeah,
why not have someone new?
I
Why not? That's the part that I don't understand.
she
And I
is.
even wonder,
I
is
think.
Andy
I
Muschietti
think
now
she's.
even directing the movie?
I think she's a good writer, but I don't think she's a good writer for DC comic books. There's good writers out there that are not suited for specific genres at times. I
Well,
think that's
what
where.
what else has she written? I don't even know.
Oh, that's a good point.
Besides DC, I don't even know. I couldn't tell
Let
you
me
off the top of my head.
let me check up her resume.
But I feel
Dude,
like in general there is something not like something is amiss with DC, with Batman, and they obviously
she
need to figure it out fast.
she wrote Bumblebee, which is a pretty solid film. Um, right, Bumblebee was like one of the better Transformers films.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, that one's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't have a lot of other stuff. Well, she is writing for a Juan Howard movie. It's just, yeah, her DC stuff is not good. That's true. I agree there. There's some
Yeah, so
writers are.
why attach her to Batman? Like, aren't they trying to have Batman be a first, you know, And on top of that too, if her material didn't work with Andy Muschietti, and we see that, okay, now with this TV show, Andy Muschietti
She get
has
that
a
writer.
proper. Yeah, they should have gotten that the writers, a writer on that TV show to do it. But now I wonder, right? Because there's also this other rumor that's saying that the reason why Brave and the Bold isn't happening anytime soon is because James Gunn actually wants to direct it.
I'm curious to see what Andy Muschietti, the way he wrote it, how he can write the Joker.
Well, I mean, after that rumor, now I'm more curious. Like that sounds like something that makes a bit of sense. Why would James Gunn? James Gunn is the flagship director at DC.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he do a Batman movie? I mean,
Well,
at
there's
some
that
point in
rumor.
time, we just assume that he's going to do the Justice League movie. But at this point, it seems like maybe he's just going to take control and do all these other characters as well. I don't know. It doesn't really
I've been saying for
make
some
much
time.
sense.
I've been saying for some time when they do a Justice League movie, Gunn's going to be one doing it. I think Gunn's
Yeah.
going to direct a Justice League movie. I've been saying that for a while. You heard me say that on my streams before. I think
Right,
Gunn
yeah,
is,
it makes sense that he's going to be the one who does it. Why wouldn't he do it? That's
yeah.
the part that. But him directing Batman, I'm like, there's got to be something to that rumor because we've never heard that before,
What's up, Sideways?
and it just seems a little weird. It seems a little random. Like, where did this come from?
He should direct a Trinity too. He should direct Wonder Woman also. They have him direct all
Well, that
Trinity
seems
movies.
that. I mean, you laugh, but it seems like that's what they're planning to do. Why is he the only one that has been? Well, he's been pushing a lot of the movies out and TV shows that are directed by him. He can obviously handle it, but I don't know. I don't know. I think right now DC's just going to be in a weird state until we find out who actually buys them. I mean, at this point, if Paramount buys them, I don't think that's going to bode well in terms of like the output of DC. But if Netflix buys them, then 100% we're going to get like probably even more DC content than we've ever had.
That's a major turning thing is that Warner Bros. Is rethinking about selling now to Netflix.
Yeah. Which I don't, I mean, I've only come to terms now with them buying Warner Brothers. And now it's like, oh, we actually might go with Paramount. And it's like, based on what?
There had to be some outrageous offer there, like some outrageous offer.
Yeah, but Paramount, like even out in terms of like what they're offering, Paramount doesn't even have. If they're spending all this money, right, and this is mostly money coming from who knows where. This is not money that Paramount has generated. That's my guess. That's just me saying that.
Oh,
right? They're
definitely borrowing some money.
Yeah, they're borrowing money, right? So it's like, I mean, you would think they would, if they got all this money, right? Why aren't they putting this into some of these movies, right? Like, and IPs, they haven't really done anything. They're just trying to gun so hard for Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers has all these IPs. But who's to say what Paramount is going to do? Like right now, it seems like Netflix is going to just keep everything intact, and for the time being.
This is a good question, Sideways. Probably not for like 2 to 8 years.
It's gonna be not even. We're waiting like at least more than a decade.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think we're getting a Justice League movie anytime soon. Because they can't even. There was this meme someone put out where it was like James Gunn if he directed, or was the head of Marvel, and it was like Iron Man delayed, Nick Fury movie delayed, Captain America 2, Whiplash, like all this like random shit, and you're like, yeah, right now it just seems like a bunch of random shit is being thrown at the wall. We haven't heard any confirmation about major characters, which shouldn't they be getting movies? Like, shouldn't Wonder Woman be, I don't know, in production for 2028? Like, that's what it really should be, right?
They have nothing for
Yeah,
2028.
like they announced this. This is what I'm saying. Like, what was the point of announcing this slate? Like, this slate was meaningless. It was for investors and Warner Brothers, but it was not made for the public. Like, that should have never been shown to the public because now people have this expectation. Like, are we going to get those movies? And I'm going to, I've made lots of
Look,
bets and that have gone wrong, but I'm going to bet that a lot of the movies that we've seen on that slate,
yeah,
we're not going to see them for 7 years. That's my guess. I don't think we're going to see a lot of them ever come out. And if they do come out, they're not going to be by the original creators that they said they, like James Mangold. Do you think James Mangold is making Swamp Thing? I don't think so.
I don't know what James Mangold's going to do. Like, yeah, I think he has another movie he's doing, and I think he's also contracted to Lucasfilms too to do Star Wars.
Yeah,
Also,
and who is that still happening? Who even knows?
yeah. So anyways, yeah. And then what do you say about Brave and the Bold and the Batman? He's waiting till the Batman's done. It's so Brave and the Bold could come out. Oh, you're not going to be in the same. Of course, Brave and the Bold and Batman Part 2 are not going to be in the same year. No, of course that's the case.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea at all.
No. I really hope Batman Part 2 is not the end chapter of the Batman saga.
No. But this is what I mean. This is what I've always said. What's the point of having these two different Batmans?
It's funny.
When it's already been established. What point was that? That makes no sense to me.
It's funny because James Gunn's calling the Superman saga. Right?
Right.
The Batman saga. Superman. You better have an established Batman saga. Like, or at least in the process of being established. No farther ahead of Superman because it has a show. Well, I guess, I don't know, Peacemaker is part of the Superman saga, but it does have some ties a little bit to Superman's sense of Lex Luthor.
Far, yeah.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, Batman Part 2 would probably have been out already. If it wasn't for the strikes and constant delays, Batman Part 2 would have been out already.
I don't think so. It's been a while. I don't think so. I think it was, they pushed it back for other reasons.
Oh,
so.
Now I remember. Yeah, they're pushing back filming a little bit. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they just pushed it back to May. I mean, it's still coming out in October. They have like a whole year in advance to make the movie.
Yeah,
so
it's not.
I don't think that means much.
I don't. Yeah. Well, the only thing I think one of the reasons why they're pushing it back a little bit. May, right? When does Odyssey come out? July.
Yeah.
Right. When is Robert Pattinson's film? Not Odyssey, but the one was Zendaya. The other film was Zendaya where they're married.
That already. I don't know when that comes out actually.
Because he's in 2 films with Zendaya this year, right?
Well, and Dune 3.
Oh my God! He's probably cheating on. She's probably cheating on. Tom Holland.
Well, he's the villain in Dune.
Yeah, that's true. He is. But 3
and he's in the Odyssey.
Is it called The Drama?
Yeah.
It comes out April. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the press tour or anything like that with that movie. But there is, he's probably gonna have to be a little bit away from filming, unless they film most of the scenes for the Odyssey, because it probably has to do all the press tour. And the press tour can usually take 2 or 3 weeks up to a month, right? But yeah, I think one of the reasons why they pushed back the filming was to accommodate that or something. But that's in May. And that movie comes out in July, I guess. When in July? When does Odyssey come out in July? It is July, right?
Or mid-July. Sorry, mid-July.
July 17th.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I don't see how that makes a difference. They could still start in April. He could still film some scenes in April, May, and June. And then he could step away from filming to do the press tour for Odyssey and then come back and film the rest of the movie. I don't think that would affect the release date.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people said it's because of the doing the press tour and all that, because that's the reason why, but I don't see how that makes sense. I don't see how pushing it forward to May, filming to May instead of April. Well, to be fair, they said spring. May is spring technically, right? But either way, if they started April, May, I don't think it would affect the release date of the movie. He could have gone away for a bit to promote. Honestly, it didn't come back.
That's not going to affect the movie at all. He doesn't even need to promote the Odyssey. There's so many other actors. So I don't.
But the
I
thing,
don't think
you're right.
problem.
That's the reason they're going to promote, because if you really look at the cast, it's an all-star cast.
Yeah,
it's like the elite of the elite. You know, it's like all A-list. So they're going to try to they're going to try to promote with all the A-list actors, and so I don't think it matters. I mean, they could have started filming in April, May, go away for a few weeks to promote Odyssey and come back. The thing about the Batman compared to most comic book movies or Marvel and DC, I don't think it's gonna be VFX or CGI heavy, or it's gonna be a lot more practical effects. I don't think the film is gonna be like 5 or 6 months, because I don't think the first Batman movie was like that. I think the first Batman movie was like filming for a few months, because right, it doesn't. So I don't think it'll be an issue, really. I don't know. There has to be another reason. Maybe Degrassi would know if he was here.
I mean, they might have just. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's May. Movie comes out next year, October. Like, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to affect the release date.
The only issue is if it's VFX heavy, maybe it might get delayed. But I don't think so.
I don't even think the first Batman wasn't VFX heavy at all. It was mostly practical.
No, it was VFX heavy.
Really?
Yes, it was just really good VFX. That's why.
Because it looked awful real. VFX. It looked so.
Yeah,
real.
They had to. The chase sequence that they did, they actually had to scale it down because of COVID, and they couldn't.
They had to film it inside the studio, right? Because I know most of the Marvel stuff was all filmed inside.
No, they
the studio.
filmed it on a high. They filmed it on like a highway, and in Scotland or wherever.
Oh yeah, because I think Marvel filmed everything in studio, right?
Yeah, but that movie in particular, they had to scale down because of COVID, because they were shooting and then COVID happened. And then it was delaying production, and so it was costing them a lot of money, so they had to scale it down.
I remember when they went back into production for the Batman and Robert Pattinson got reported got COVID right away when they went back. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why people are still. Oh man, this controller is getting some drift now. That's weird. Might have to see about the other controller, how bad the drift is. This drift is really pissing me off for real. I don't want to buy it. Oh shit. I died. But I don't know. I'll always say this. I don't really care. I don't believe what James Gunn says. Until I see proof, I'll believe it. But I'm just like, I've already come to terms that DC's not going to put out a lot of stuff. That's fine. I mean, they're like I said, they're not Marvel. I know people are like, no, they're doing better than Marvel, blah blah blah. But they clearly aren't doing better than Marvel, because if they were doing better than Marvel, then why didn't Superman make $1 billion? You know what I mean? And we only had Superman, so it's not like, it's not like they have all these movies to really be like, okay, well, we got all this money, we can get investors, we can rely on the money that we made previously. So they still got a lot of ways to go.
Well,
here's the thing. What it is.
DC fans can have that win from last year with Superman making it was the highest box office comic book film, but this year they can't say that because it's not going to be true.
Yeah,
and they probably can't say that next year either. I think Batman and Superman will do well, but Secret Wars is going to do better than both of them financially.
Right. Well, the Batman is definitely going to be a top movie, but that's not part of the DCU, so they can't really like I know James Gunn is going to obviously, claim that too, just like he claimed the Penguin, but um, I don't know, man. All this stuff I think is just still up in the air. As much as James Gunn wants to say he all has a plan, I mean, there was a reason. As much as like we had issues with Marvel and their storytelling, there was a reason why Marvel never really had finished scripts, right? It was because they were constantly changing, and they were constantly adapting. If you have a finished script and you're like, we're dedicated to the script, but yet changes come up, or
Eh,
it's not working out, then
eh.
you end up not having a movie, right?
The X-Men might come out 2028 for the
Yeah,
Marvel.
it most likely is. They've already got a
Yeah.
production designer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Um, yeah, and they got a director who's a good director,
Hmm.
right?
They just need to have a good cast and a good script, and
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, that's
X-Men is going to be prominently featured in these Avengers movies. That's going to boost their profile even more.
hmm
So, I mean, I don't know. I think some people on Twitter and what's going on. I don't know. Like they're kind of desperate for news, right? Because if you notice, Lanterns got delayed, so they're not really marketing anything with that. Sadly,
not yet. They
um,
don't need to. It's kind of early.
yeah. But
I
as a
mean, dude,
result, people are just kind of like, well, Supergirl's not that interesting because it's like Supergirl is kind of we just got Superman, so it's like
yeah,
I don't think people are like, well, like they're not super interested. Like we just got something Superman related. That's how I think people see it. They want to see something new, and DC. The only thing that DC has new this year is coming out at the end of the year with Clayface and Lanterns. We'll have to see how people
hmm
react to Clayface. We haven't even seen a trailer for Clayface. We haven't seen any footage. What happens if that movie doesn't do well?
yeah, exactly.
And or what happens if that movie does really well? What like does it?
Hey,
I don't think it's going to change anything because the plans are kind of like well, there's. It seems like there is no plan. I'm gonna be honest. Like, what is the DC plan here?
no, none. The thing
No,
is,
there's none. Yeah,
I wasn't so sure on the Lanterns logo because like should the Lanterns logo be green? Then I realized it's not really about the Green Lanterns. Yes, two main characters are Green Lanterns, but they have other Lantern characters in it. So I'm like, okay, I realized
right.
why it's not green. The logo, it's not Green Lanterns, it's Lanterns because they have Sinestro. Is it
There
it?
is other lanterns. That is a good
Yeah,
point. That could be a
yeah.
reason. I mean, I also think it's the lanterns because I think they aren't Green Lanterns. I think there's only one lantern ring they have between the two of them. And so there's not really a lot of Green Lanterns, if that makes sense. There's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're kind of out of the costume for a lot of the show is going to be my guess because I mean based on the promotional material and what's going on, I don't think it's going to be what people assume it's going to be, right? Like it's not going to be the Ryan Reynolds movie where that was like okay, there's a lot of visual effects. This is still HBO, and HBO has a certain limit in terms of what they could do for VFX, right? So I don't think the show is going to be what people expect it to be. That doesn't
No.
necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad show. I think the show has a lot of potential. It's just that I think they're trying to warm up people who are what is that? They're trying to like you know they're trying to warm up people who are not used to the idea of Green Lanterns
Yeah.
because the Green Lantern movie just didn't work.
No.
So yeah, I
Nope.
don't think it's not going to work out with you know doing a straight up cosmic. Let's throw everybody back into the Green Lantern
I
universe.
mean, yeah. I mean,
That's not going to work.
DC is a little bit lazy with the logos. Kind of
No,
are.
I think the logo. Listen. someone who does design, you guys got to remember when they put out logos, a
It's a
logo.
placeholder.
No. A logo is supposed to be a representative of what the project is, right? Maybe initially you guys aren't aware, but a logo does establish a tone. It establishes a mood. So when you see that there's not a lack of green or a logo in terms of the classic Green Lantern logo, that's 100% intentional. They're trying to
Of course.
insinuate that this is like serious, it's more mature. Like look at the lettering, the textures that they use on the lettering. All those things say something about what the project is without seeing the project. And based on the footage that we've seen, again, it looks like a very moody, gritty kind of like detective. Like they're like even some of the production design, like they're like in military, those like military tarps where they're all
Yes.
like having yeah, and they open it up like that's all part of the production design. So it's like you can't really just say, oh, there's got to be, there's gonna be something else to it. It's like they're kind of teasing and showing you what it's gonna be. Now, could it be possible that at the end of the show you see the cosmic world and it's like, oh, they go into space? I think that's what they're gonna do, but
I
I don't think this
I
show is gonna be
I think you're gonna
classic
see
Green
that.
Lantern.
I think you're gonna see some of that in the. I think you're gonna see some of that. Oh no, blinded. Oh no, they will come on. We got like 20 minutes left. That's the thing. Um, but I think you might see some of that early on in the show with Sinestro. I don't think Sinestro. I think Sinestro is going to be a major part of the show because Hal Jordan. Look, Hal Jordan is his fifth. Looks, the actor's in his 50s. Hal Jordan looks like a grizzly vet, and he has of the Green Lanterns, the main Earth Green Lanterns. He has the most history of Sinestro, right? The I think you're gonna have to show some cosmic stuff eventually in this show, because Green Lantern is cosmic. With 56K, it's very cosmic. They're space cops, right? So you're eventually gonna have to because that's what they are. That's what they are. They're basically space police. They are. The Nova Corps in Marvel it's not exactly the same because the Nova Corps in Marvel are not they don't go by colors. They don't have corps or anything like that, right? They don't have color corps, but they're still police, right? They still protect they still protect the galaxy. I was saying, like, I think they are gonna show the cosmic stuff. I wonder because I think
I think they will. I'm just saying that's not the main focus of the show. That's what I'm
no,
trying to say.
I think there's gonna be flashbacks with Hal Jordan in some aspect with Sinestro because in the comics, Sinestro has the most history of the Earth Lanterns with Hal Jordan, right? Um,
Yeah, he's gonna have history. I think Hal Jordan is not even a Green Lantern in the show. I think
maybe
he's a they he had to give in his ring.
it's yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
was a
possible.
rumor. Listen, there was a rumor
Don't
about
you
a
have?
leaked script, and the leaked script is starting to become true, and that was about that both um you know Hal Jordan and John Stewart had only one ring between them because John Stewart is a rookie, but he's actually a Green Lantern, whereas Hal Jordan isn't.
He could
The
give.
Guardians took away his ring.
Oh, okay, but I don't know because I thought rings choose the bearer. You can't just give a ring.
Well,
Well,
that's a change that they made in the story because also in the story they're investigating the death of Alan Scott.
I'll say this as
That was part of the
yeah.
rumor.
One of the brightest spots about the Suicide Squad game was Cake Shark with the ring.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I will admit that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the brightest spots about this game. That's it. Like one of the few, but that was pretty funny. Cake Shark with the ring. um, yeah. It's originally supposed to come out like in the first half of that show, but
Hmm.
I wonder if the story reasons why they're releasing it after Supergirl.
I think it's just because they. I mean, it could be because of the effects. It could be they have other
Yeah.
shows that they have to like plot out and schedule. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's probably that too. I mean, they got House of Dragon, Euphoria. I
Yeah,
don't know what
like
else.
where would have this fit? This would have had to come out in March, I assume, right?
Yeah.
For it to like work out with the scheduling, and maybe that would have conflicted with other shows. I know HBO has other shows that they air at the same time, but a big show like this bumping up against Euphoria doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
So I
No.
don't think they would want to do that.
No, they have the
I
shows that come out on Thursdays, and then they have the shows that come out on Sundays. Sundays usually their
But this
main stuff.
show, I almost guarantee the show is going to be controversial. I'm just saying that so people know because I don't think people know about this leak. And this is a credible leak, by the way, because
Maybe I heard of it.
this
I don't
mentioned
refresh my.
a scene that we actually see in the little snippet. There's a snippet of them. The car jumps off. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in the script. That's in the script where Hal Jordan goes, well, if you're a Green Lantern, then he goes, well, prove it, and he jumps out the car and he puts the ring on the dash, and he's like, you have to show me that you're worthy of having the ring, right? Because they're fighting over, well, they're fighting over John's ring because he's the only one that has,
hmm
you know, and they also have the ring of, or I don't, they either have the ring of Alan Scott, but it's not working, or they don't. I can't remember that part, but they're investigating the death of Alan Scott, who was murdered, and something happened to his ring, and they're like, this is very suspicious, and so they're trying to be like, well, who could murder a Green Lantern and also take away the ring of the Powers
yeah,
ring? Sorry, the Powers ring, right?
yeah.
The
That's what people.
Powers
That's
ring. Does that make sense? The ring's power, Jesus.
Guy Gardner will be in it. Yes, Guy Gardner's in the
Yeah,
show too.
Guy
Well,
Gardner shows up in the script, and they kind of just, they have to like kidnap him, and they're kind of like interrogating him and asking him questions about the Guardians because he doesn't. It doesn't seem like John really knows much. But he's not in the show a lot based on the script. Like I said,
Guy
this is
Gardner.
a league script. It could be bullshit, but based on what has been going on, I don't think it's bullshit. I actually think it's a credible leak because also no one's mentioned it, and it also reads like a pretty decent show. I just think it will be controversial with Green Lanterns fans. Like, if
Fans.
you're a Green Lanterns fan, I don't think you're gonna like this show. I mean, I like Green Lanterns, but I like this. I like the idea of the story. Like, the story is them kind of like wrestling with, who gets to be an authority figure, and there's a lot of like conspiracies going on because it also has to deal with the Black Hand.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's in there. Well,
so
Well, yeah. He's yeah.
and some of the other characters that are, we know that have been cast, they're not involved in it that much. It's just that they get brought
Is
up because
I heard? Isn't Carol cast? Like they haven't officially
no,
announced.
she's not based on the script. She's not in it. It's
Fuck.
some other, like, the most of the stories also, like, there's a lot of flashbacks between their parents. Uh, Again, it's like the way that it reads. I'm like, this. It's kind of weird. Like, what do the parents have to do with the story? But it's more about their characters. So that's why I'm like, if they go to space, right?
Yeah.
Um, well, first off, it's not going to be in this season. It's going to be like brief. It's like very either like flashbacks or like someone has a vision or like it's not something that is like consistent throughout the show. The show is very much on Earth, and it takes place in this like rural town. It's not like I said, I would not say it's like Green Lantern. It's not even Green Lantern Earth One. Like that story was like entirely in space, and it's mostly about the fact that the Green Lanterns just like disappeared. Like they're sort of a mystery. In this, the Green Lanterns exist. The core is established. It's just that the Guardians are kind of like, I don't know. They're very like they're kind of not really like I don't know how you describe it. They're kind of against humans based on what which is something that's kind of touched upon in Earth One, but not really. Like in Earth One, the Guardians were the villains. Like they were straight up like they're like, yeah, we built the Manhunters to take down the Green Lanterns,
Well,
and we don't really want to have Green Lanterns anymore. That was their whole thing
that's
in that story.
that's why Chaucer hates the Guardians too, because it was the Manhunters. I think the
Yeah,
story
I don't know. I
family.
don't know. Is that even part of the lore that they also created them, the
Yeah.
Guardians? Okay.
Well, they didn't create the Red Land. They created the Manhunters. I know that.
Yeah, the man. That's what I mean.
No, but you play DC Universe Online, right?
A little, not really though.
Did you do the part of Corona
No.
in the OSL?
Mm-mm.
Corona apparently said he created the Manhunters or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but in this story, they were made to take down the Green Lanterns and get rid of them completely because they were like the Green Lanterns as a concept was just a botched idea. They're like, oh no, this is a complete failure.
You
The
know,
Yellow Lanterns came in the second volume, and John Stewart was a Yellow Lantern, but that's because they were gonna, the Guardians were like, the Manhunters failed, so we needed to have something similar to the Green Lanterns to
mhm.
take them down. And so they started the Yellow Lanterns.
uh,
Sinestro is in it, but um, he kind of is not like the major
quick
villain.
quick thought. Avengers Secret Wars staying one movie.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
you think so now? I thought it was still split in two.
Oh wait, part two?
Secret Wars. I mean, Jeff Snyder said it's going to stay into one movie as of right now.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the reason why they wouldn't split it up is because of scheduling with the actors.
Mm.
I honestly thought they actually would do it because there's a lot of story with Secret Wars. Um, I guess not.
Well, they're going
I
to
don't
have
like
to.
again. I don't know. Like the Secret Wars that they're doing is clearly,
It's very.
their version of Secret Wars.
It's kind of a combination of both Secret Wars. They said.
Yeah,
Um.
but I think they're
So
probably going to add their own elements or something to it
yeah,
because
exactly. Like Civil War. Remember, they did Civil War. Civil War was nothing. Like the only thing
yeah,
about
Civil
Civil
War
War is
was
that
nothing like the
yeah,
comic.
the only thing was Civil War
Infinity
got.
War was also nothing like
Yeah,
Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah. I mean, you can take some of the ideas from the arcs and you can
Mhm.
spin it, create it in your own ways. Like Infinity War, Civil War was just Captain America versus Iron Man. That was the basis of the
Right.
Civil War arc, Civil War One. Because for some reason, Marvel had to do Civil War Two, which sucked. I
Yeah.
don't know. I
You
don't know.
think Lanterns will take some elements of the Green Lantern? Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to come from that comic. Like
Yeah.
I think that all the ideas of like the Guardians being villains esque. I mean, they're already kind of like I don't know what you would consider them in the main universe because I always did feel like they were kind of aggressive for like no reason. They thought they were above everybody, but um, in that comic, they are pretty much the villains.
Yes, they
So I
are.
do wonder. Um, yeah, I honestly, I'm telling you right now, prepare yourself. Green Lantern fans are going to be pissed. You're going to see tons of people on Twitter say there's not Green Lanterns. This is not what they wanted. It's not the whole story itself is so unlike a Green Lantern story, even in an Elseworld situation, and
Hmm.
that's mostly because of the budget. That's really it. I think they didn't have the budget to do that, which is fair. What TV show is like entirely in space with the characters flying around and shooting and battling each other? That's a movie, that's like movie levels, right? Even when Star Wars does it, it's not like every episode is that. Sometimes it's the ending episode where you get like this big action sequence, right? So, but this is also an HBO show, and so it's like HBO is not the type to really do things like that. I mean, look at The Last of Us. The Last of Us was also surprisingly lacking in action sequences.
If you watch Game of Thrones, the battle scenes are always like one episode long, all the time.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like it happens like you have like 3 battles or something. Usually you would have like a battle a season or something.
Yeah,
something massive.
Yeah.
So I honestly think there's not going to be like this like epic fight between all these Green Lanterns. There's no way that's going to happen. There's just no way.
That's not. I don't think that's made for TV. That should be made for a movie.
Yeah. If anything, the show is closer. It's closer to Watchmen.
Yeah.
Like Watchmen does not have a lot of. Well, in general, Watchmen's not really supposed to have a lot of action sequences. It's more about the characters and stuff. But that show in particular was like very much exploring the backgrounds of the characters and what happened after Watchmen, things like that. But yeah, this show I expect is gonna be very controversial. That's really it.
Yeah. Well, it's almost 8:00. I guess we gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the Xbox, but
yeah, Phil Spencer is. We got another time, maybe Sunday. I'll be back Sunday.
Yeah.
Phil Spector, yeah, he's retiring from Xbox. Microsoft. Yeah.
Yo,
TJ. Yeah, we gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah,
we gotta go. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below, guys. Bye.
Come on. Thanks for watching him, bitch.